So I'm Leah with Watts Media. This is Tonya with Dirby, and she just did a great presentation at Startup Week in Colorado Springs, and we wanted to ask her a little bit about the presentation. So first of all, tell us a little bit about Dirby.
So we work with companies to increase retention and revenue by better engaging with their customers. So in brief, that's what we do. And there's a lot of different pieces that we can pull in to get that result. And we like to meet our customers where they are. So you utilize the resources that they have available to them today and fill gaps to make sure we're accomplishing the goals.
They're definitely important for any organization. It sounds like you work with them at any stage too.
We do, as long as you have a customer, then it makes sense to work with us. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. One of the most important things I thought you presented today, I don't know if you use an acronym for it, but
sure.
MATO, which is the milestones,
yes.
actions, triggers, and opportunities. You can have at different parts of your experience with the customer.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. You're the second person now that has used that acronym. I hadn't used it that way. I think I need to use it. So yeah, you know, what I found is that when you're talking about customer onboarding, which was specifically what the presentation was about today, a huge piece of customer engagement, is that from day one of that customer being a customer, you want to make sure that you're creating a positive relationship and that you are bringing them on board, making them feel a part of your organization. And that needs to be something that spreads throughout your entire organization. So not something that's an isolated process, but something that is weaved into every process of the organization, from sales to marketing to product delivery to support. And so if you set milestones, actions, triggers, and then also opportunities, then it's easier to, you know, to pull those out and make them a part of every process you have.
Definitely. Do you use a CRM to track that?
No, I do not personally use a CRM to track that. I use Trello is the tool that I use. One of the things that we talked about today was CRM, and whether it's a CRM tool or project management tool, I think when we're, you know, this is Startup Week, so we're talking mostly to organizations who are just getting going.
Definitely.
And I think that a lot of organizations get tied up in the tool, when in reality, at this stage, it's just important that you're doing the work. It's important that you have the discipline to actually leverage the information. You want to make intelligent choices about your tool, of course. You don't want to switch around, but I think, you know, finding a good, easy way to initially track is more important than the tool itself.
And the discipline to use it.
The discipline, yeah, right.
And then I did have one more interesting question with, as far as, there's a lot of different tactics, obviously, you can use for customer retention.
Sure.
How do you choose between price-related ones? Like an example, a referral with a discount?
Yes.
And then a testimonial that isn't related to price.
Yeah, those are difficult, right? And I think a lot of that is going to depend on the type of product that you have and the type of customer set that you have, right? There are different products where referrals and testimonials are more important than a discount, right? So I think that's, in my experience, if you have a great feel for what is going to be a primary driver for your target market, awesome, you've gotten 90% of the way, but otherwise you got to play with it and you got to track it. And again, it goes back to the discipline, right? So be disciplined in tracking where you have found the most effectiveness with your particular customer base.
Absolutely, great response. Anything else you want to add?
No, you know, this is the last day of Startup Week, and it is fabulous to see what is going on within Colorado Springs as far as the entrepreneurial community is concerned. And so if you missed this week, then hopefully you'll be looking at next year, and we can have an even better turnout for events next year. And then also just getting engaged with the startup community throughout the year. Peak Startup has different events. And from a customer engagement standpoint, if you're somebody who wants to increase your sales, who wants to increase your retention, who wants to better engage with your customers, I would love to talk to you and see if we can work together. So that's it.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thanks.